Go to sleep. Oh, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my computer. You see, I can't use my hands. I've got spinal muscular atrophy, which is a form of muscular dystrophy, which means I'm one of Jerry's kids. Or at least, I was one of Jerry's kids. Jerry's not around anymore, so technically I'm somebody else's step kid. Uh, that's not right. Anyway, it's all beside the point, which I'll get to pretty soon. But the main point of this story, in a roundabout way, is due to muscular dystrophy. Not just the disease, but the organization. They introduced me to some pretty cool people. I've never been able to take a free step, and because of that, I was a poster child for a while. I know the person talking to you right now, not really poster worthy, but I used to be cute. Anyway, during those days, I got the chance to be on TV quite a bit. I would ask people to send in their money, which was very altruistic. I wasn't keeping any of it. But in those days, I would go down the night before, hang out in the bar. Well, this was after I grew up a bit. And hobnob with some of the people that help raise money. Now, a lot of those people that help raise money are firefighters. Firefighters are a wonderful group of individuals who put their life on the line, and I got to be one of their sort of insiders. I would see how they did things when they weren't on duty. Now, that's my favorite time to hang out with any professional, when they're not on duty. And let me tell you, off-duty firefighters know how to have a lot of fun. We ended up being pretty good friends. Not every firefighter, but a couple of them particularly. And one of them in particular, I would hang out with even outside of muscular dystrophy. I was down in the Tri-Cities one night, hanging out after a hockey game or some event, and we were singing karaoke. Now, there's that old verb adage, nothing good happens after midnight. Well, I proved that wrong. At least they proved that wrong for me. You see, I was about 4 or 5 beers in. Don't tell the adult kids. I don't condone drinking. But I was 24, 25. And that's what 24, 25-year-olds do. Especially when they don't have to drive, because the karaoke bar was at the hotel. So I was out belting some Jim Morrison. Not physically, obviously, but with my voice. You see the button on my throat there. That's new. When I was 24, 25, there was no button. The button now helps me breathe, allows me to talk. Back then, I was just gruff and had a gravelly voice. Voice is pretty much the same these days, but I don't stretch it quite so much. And anyway, as I was singing, no one here gets out alive. My buddy's boss came over, sat down at his table. Now, I don't know if he was his direct boss or just somebody higher up on the chain, but this guy was a fisherman. My buddy was a fisherman. I am a fisherman. I mean, I don't use my hands to reel the fish in or use my shoulders to hoist it up on the deck, but I like to be around when fish are being caught. I like to use my knowledge. I like to use my eyes. I like to be out on the water. Anyway, my buddy started telling his boss about me being a fisherman while I was singing, drunk in a bar at 1 in the morning. Well, my buddy's boss, pretty cool guy, was deciding to take a bunch of people to Alaska for a week to fish halibut. Now, I'm a smallmouth bass, trout in a local pond sort of guy. And he was talking about one of the biggest fishes in the sea in one of the most beautiful areas of the world, and he ended up asking me if I wanted to join them. I can't even walk down, hoist myself onto a boat. He was offering the assistance of his entire crew to deal with me physically for a week. And this is because I was out having a good time. Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. So I couldn't say yes right then. I mean, I was drunk. I didn't know really what he was asking me. So I asked for permission to wait 12 hours. I said, man, give me 12 hours and I will say yes or no. Because I'm scared. I'm nervous. I need a lot of help. And so the guy, my buddy's boss, said, okay, you have 12 hours. Here's the deal. If you say yes, I'll pay for your buddy's plane ticket. I'll pay for your plane ticket. And you won't have to worry about a thing for a week. So the next morning, I presented the idea to my mom and dad. And they agreed that it was a shot worth taking. And 10 years later, it's still the coolest thing I ever did. And I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't just gone out and had a good time. If I hadn't been out with a friend. If I hadn't stayed up until after midnight when nothing good happens. That is an amazing thing. And I just didn't intend it. Thanks. Now I'm going to tell my computer to stop recording. And never once will I have used my hands. Wake up. Mouse click.